Hello. I want to talk to you about connecting to your higher self. This is something that has kind of been on my mind again. So I don't know if there's something happening astrologically or if it's also just something that's been coming into my field because it's been coming through in some of my client sessions. So I just wanted to do a video and help you understand what it means to connect to your higher self, what I see as some common issues with that connection. And if you stay tuned to the end, I'm hoping to do a bit of a live transmission to help you connect to your higher self. So, if you are new to seeing my face, listening to my words, I am Natasha. I am a kinesiologist and a multidimensional quantum healer. I am based in Rockingham for my one-on-one sessions, and I also hold monthly circles in Oakford, and that is part of my etheric circle membership, which is all about, well, this year is very much about exploring how do we embody the 5D, knowing that there has been so much shifting in this world and so much remembrance coming through and so many different levels of awakening. But what does that actually mean? How do we embody it and how do we move through this world and, access our multidimensionality? So, a key part to being able to access your multidimensionality is via your higher self. And the reason I am very passionate about helping people make this connection is because there unfortunately are a lot of false guides out there, and that could be, either through people that you may be listening to or reading or, doing some trainings with, or it could be anything that you could be connecting to in the unseen world. So just always being able to practice your own discernment and work on that trust. And the trust has been a big thing for me on a soul level. So I've come in with very that my walls have been very high up, and I've been learning to lower that and to be more trusting. So I don't share any of this to instill any fear, because again, with my membership, it's a lot about moving out of the fear and into love, into that unity consciousness. So definitely not trying to spread any fear, but also wanting to help you be aware of things that do happen out there. And obviously, the more work we do on ourselves and cultivate that relationship with ourselves, then the more we're able to, I guess, cultivate that relationship with the unseen as well, because there's also, especially with some clients of mine, seeing how some people may have been too trusting, and even it can happen in the human life, when you've trusted the wrong people or have given yourself very people pleasing, and not honored your own boundaries. So it's having those same boundaries that we have on into um, relational level, to also having them on an interdimensional level. So, what is the higher self? The higher self is this higher aspect of you that is, it can be, you can look it up. There's many different definitions. So, obviously, find what feels right for you. But I always just see it as this higher aspect of you that knows all that you have been through, all that you have come here into this world to do. And it is, this eternal form of yourself. And it is something that you can access to connect to what it is that you are here to do. But it is, that immense, that vast, that's why it cannot be embodied in this earthly plane, in this human form. Obviously, there's a lot of shifts and changes happening, so that may change, but at the moment, it's just really something that we can connect to and continue to cultivate that relationship with. And it's usually, operating from this higher timeline as well. So by connecting in with your higher self or even your highest self, then you are connecting with these higher timelines as well. So if you're needing a bit of a redirection, then this is always a great place to start. And what I wanted to share and what has been coming up in my sessions this week is that sometimes we haven't obviously just haven't learned how to connect in with our higher self. So again, with my membership, I do share a couple of practices that I learnt from my trainer in multidimensional quantum healing. That was Kerry White. So she has given me permission to share those in the membership. So you do get them when you sign up. But what I'm hoping will drop through today will just be some sort of guided introduction to your higher self. But we'll see how that goes later on. So what I have seen for those that have been wanting to make that connection with their higher self have been commonly like there have been blocks, and these blocks can come through in so many different ways. So a lot of times it's to do with the human levels and the things that we need to work through, our own inner child healing, our own um, our own self-worth, being able to be open and trusting and being able to surrender. So, working on control issues as well. And obviously, healing any trauma that has, caused you to close up and to eventually allow you to feel safe enough to open up and access that. And so many of us, when we were children, we may have been quite open and seen things and heard things, and we may not have had the support from our family to help us, develop that relationship. So then we're trying to get back to that. But yeah, through fears or imprints, it's kind of becomes less and less easier to access. So I guess they're more the emotional or mental blocks that I see, but there's also um, interference blocks or usually the energetic attachments that I see are generally these interdimensional parasites, usually connected with the mind, with the thoughts, and kind of blocking that inner access to that inner knowing. So there's that, and then there's also implants that can be, they're usually from the 6D, sixth dimension, and they could be put there to prevent you from having that access. And usually when I see this, it's because this person is usually quite open, quite strong in their gifts, but and so I guess from a fear-based lens, you could see it as that they've had these implants to keep them down, to suppress them. But what I'm seeing more and more often is it was like probably still an attempt at that, but it was like that was the best that they could do because you were that divinely guided and protected. But also, it just feels like it was also part of a self-preservation. Like that really seems to be the theme that's happening lately, that the things and times have been shifting and changing so that the time to come out and, be seen is now. It's safe to be seen. It's safe to allow your quirky and woo-woo side out. It's safe to start practicing your gifts and, start honoring your gifts as well. And obviously, again, practicing your own discernment as to who it is safe to do that with. You'll know which people in your life are the ones that are going to be more receptive of that, and you'll know which people to probably not talk to that about. And with time, they may, get curious about seeing the change in you as you get more connected, that you may just seem a lot lighter and brighter. And that's how the ripple effect can work its magic. So just, tap into, like, do what you can to keep tapping into you, like and all of the weird and wonderful stuff that only you bring. And then the other thing is the stillness. And it's, again, like with honoring yourself and your gifts, like taking that time to practice and to, you know, further develop it as well. So whether it's through meditation, and that could be silent meditation, it could be guided meditation, it could even be, a walking out in nature meditation, whatever it is that helps you, switch off the brain, to slow those cogs that are turning and to allow yourself to drop into your heart and be in that space where you like the heart is a portal and it has access to so much, anything and everything. And that's really where we want to be moving through this world through. Um, so the more that you can, start to drop out of the mind and into the head, again, that's something that in the etheric circle inside the shift, that is what the core basis of it is. So I will drop a link to explore my membership there. Wasn't planning on plugging it, but it just seems to keep coming through. Um, but with the stillness, because there's so much noise out there and on so many different levels, and it's, the noise of this, this busy modern world, as well as depending on what it is that you believe, like it's the noise of the false matrix and all these last ditch, attempts to, it's like, really hanging on for dear life, trying to keep its claws in. But like the shift of the world is happening, it is happening, um, and it's just, that's what it's just noise. Like, so you can just shut off the noise. I know some things can feel very real and very much needing your attention, and I'm not trying to, you know, uh, downplay it at all, or not like acknowledge it at all, because there are times when we do have to accept what is happening out in the world or what is happening in our life. But it's also just being able to see where it could be that this noise is just something that is trying to distract you. Um, and then once you're able to, tone down the noise, it's really just coming into that still point. And the more you can slow down and be present and present in this present moment, then it again just allows you to connect into yourself, your true self, and if you want to, then you can be connected into your higher self, or just, staying in this state of who you are. Um, I was having a structural integration massage yesterday, which was working on the sidelines. And one of my homework exercises is to be breathing 3D. And so it's breathing into the front and the back and the sides of the ribs. And already I can just feel like that's going to be such an amazing practice for me to do. So maybe that's something that you can practice as well, just slowing down and just focusing on your breath and just trying to visualize that 3D breath and your ribs expanding and contracting. And as you're doing that, maybe breathing in and out, breathing in the cosmos, breathing out the earth, maybe breathing in the earth and breathing out to the cosmos. And so I feel like this is probably a good time to see what we can channel live to help you connect in with your own higher self, and just to begin with creating this safe container, clearing through any interference, any lower vibrations throughout all time and space, throughout all planes, dimensions, realms, realities, timelines. And also really focusing on the digital space and the etheric space, as well as the astral plane, the astral realm, as these are the two spaces that feel like they are the noisiest. And so just going to light the alchemical flames in the four directions, as well as above and below, so that any lower energies can choose to move through any alchemical process they wish to move through. If they are not ready and willing, then they are not welcome in this space, and so it is. So I'm just going to use my rattle. Um, So you may just feel some energy shifting. It feels like what has been coming up a lot lately is stuff in the spine, and it feels like it's stuff that has really been there for a long time. It could be inherited patterns. It could be, I guess I didn't speak to ancestral as well. Like a lot of stuff was held back because it wasn't safe. And now it's almost like we're wanting to open up those ancestral pathways again. Um, and I'll just leave it at that. So just allow the sound of the rattle to move through multidimensional, interdimensionally, and just remove anything that is interfering with your own connection to your higher self. And I'll just change the sound settings. As these energies are being cleared, there is no room for any transference, and any portals are being closed and sealed. All right, that was moving up the right side of the spine, and now we're going to be moving up the left. And now the center. So just allowing that space to be open, maybe feeling all sorts of shifts and rearranging happening. Maybe feeling yourself letting go of things, or maybe pulling something back, reclaiming something. Taking a deep breath in and a slow breath out. And now I'm just going to, in this quantum space, create a pillar of light for each person that is going to tune in at any moment in time. This is your own private space, your own personal space. This is your safe space. Calling in the dragons and the angels for their assistance, holding this space. If there's any false connections that have been made throughout any moment in time, allowing it to be seen and giving you the moment to make the choice if you want to remove this false guide or not. And then allowing the dragons and the angels to remove the false guides. There's a specialist team coming through for a couple. And it even feels like a bit of mediation occurring for some as well. So while we just wait for the others to be completed with this process, if you had nothing to clear or you already cleared it, just first of all, just becoming aware of your own sovereignty, standing in your own light, in your own power, what your energy feels like, what your soul frequency feels like. And we're now going to set the intention to make the connection or to strengthen the connection with your higher self. Maybe getting a sense of where it is above your head, if it is quite close or quite far. Maybe you're feeling the energy, maybe you're seeing some lights or colors, maybe you're seeing a shape. Just allowing it to present itself. And I'm just going to use the um, meridian tuning forks for central vessel and governing vessel to help assist you with this. You may have felt a bit of a push-pull as it was, the sound was kind of helping open up the space, removing any blockages, allowing the energy to come in, the connection with your higher self. And then as that was coming in, that was also pushing out anything else that was still like of this lower vibration that was preventing the connection. So it was happening in many different ways. And um, you may have been feeling it come through your crown and just feeling some work repair being done on your crown. You may have felt it through your throat, um, or you may have felt it through your heart, or you may have felt it traveling down into your heart and anchoring into your heart space. And so now that we have made this connection, or for those that were already connected, maybe strengthen that connection, just going to allow you a moment of stillness and silence so that you can connect in and ask for guidance or ask to be shown whatever it is that your higher self wants you to know or whatever it feels like you need to know. And maybe even asking your higher self how you can know, um, like how you can develop this relationship, how you can create the conversation. So you may be seeing visuals, you may be hearing things, but if you're not, maybe start something really small, like what did you feel or what did you see when you were making the connection with your higher self? So you can ask to be shown that every time to know that you're connecting in with your higher self. And then you can ask to be shown something, you know, like, um, like that would be like a yes or a no response. Maybe just starting with like yes and no questions, or maybe you're able to have that conversation and get more in depth or detailed answers. So I'll leave you with that now. energies just felt really beautiful. Um, so this is something that you can do every day. You can start your day, like even before you get out of bed, like just make that connection with your higher self. And if you want, you can ask for guidance, like what is it that I need to do today, or what is in my highest good to do today. If you're, have your own business, then you can really be doing that to help support your business and be in alignment. So you can even ask to ensure that you're in alignment with your highest timeline. And what I really hope came through, or the message that I need to share is that the connection with the body is the key. So whatever you're feeling, those nudges, those inklings, and they may be really quiet or they may be really loud, but however it's coming through to start trusting that. And the more you trust that, it's like, working out a muscle, like that's how you work with your intuition. And now knowing that you've got this connection with your higher self, that you can trust what is coming through. You can even ask, like, when stuff comes through, like, for signs that it is from your highest self, and trust what you're feeling in your body and allow that to help you, you know, trying to find the words here, because basically it is about your body is always giving you clues. So a lot of us have been conditioned to be so disconnected from the body, and especially to be, yeah, living in that mental headspace, that as we are working on our own healing journey or our own remembrance journey, and moving through things on a physical level, that we start to get to know our body more, and especially that the more we clear and cleanse, and let go of, especially the things that were never ours to hold on to in the first place, that they were creating mixed signals or distortions. And it's almost like this is wiping the slate clean and getting to know your body again, and trusting these whispers or what may have been shouting at you. And the more you trust it and listen to it, then it will be, at a level that is much more, I was going to say sustainable, but just a nicer level for you, that it doesn't have to be that big and loud, or it doesn't have to be very soft, so that you're able to tune into it much easier. So, uh, I guess I just want to invite you to play with it, whether it's for the small things or whether it's for the big things. Just start to connect in with your higher self, and uh, yeah, if it's something you just try to do daily, like I said, if you start with it every morning, it's a really great way to start your day. And that helps you know that whatever you're doing for that day is in your own highest good, and in alignment with your highest timeline. So please share in the comments what you felt, what you experienced, and if you are interested in joining the Etheric Circle, please see the link in the description below. Bye for now.